Hi, hello, wherever you are. My name is Leticia, and today we are talking about something that I'm pretty sure happens a lot to you, and it happens a lot to me too, and other people I meet. Most people don't have a huge collection of makeup, right? I don't, and most of the people I know have even smaller collections than me. So what happens if you actually buy a foundation or a concealer and it's not your color and you can't really give it back or return, or you don't want to because it's not really like the most sustainable approach? Can you make it work? That's what we're gonna try today. So if you wanna know how to do that, or even follow me while I'm brainstorm options, keep watching. Hi. The idea of this video came because my sister was really interested while she was visiting me on trying this CC Camel Cream Concealer from e.l.f. But here in Canada, at least at Shoppers Drug Mart, most of them, at least the ones I know, they don't really have testers. So the thing is, if you buy something like this, you can see like it can look like it's the color of your skin, and then you hold it up to all the products, sometimes even from the same brands, and you're like, seems good enough to me, in my match. Then you have like that awful surprise when you put them in your face. You're like, this is herbal, I look like a Oompa Loompa. Or maybe in your case, you just look like you're dead and you washed out. I don't know, but we're gonna try to solve that. To start, I've already have my full face of skincare here. I have my sunscreen. And because I did my skincare routine like hours ago, I applied a little water like essence thing just to try to bring moisture back to my face, not allow my makeup to suck everything, like all the moisture. My first step with most days actually, because I love this product, is the Halo Glow Liquid Filter from e.l.f. I usually apply it in most places on my skin, but not everywhere. Usually in my cheeks, in my nose, basically places where I actually are a little bit of like a glow like from the inside. It doesn't really look like it's gonna be my color, I think you can see, but when you blend it out, it does. It just gives that beautiful shine glow from within. And I blend it with my trusty Rare Beauty foundation brush. I think I do have a little bit of a white cast right now because of the sunscreen. I'm trying the new Good Molecules sunscreen, because sunscreen is something that I always need to be buying because I do use it a lot every day. Right now, I think I have 2 sunscreens open. It's not a crazy technique, it's just a little bit of primer, nothing fancy. But now I want to show you how badly this is a face match. It wasn't for me, it was for my sister, but she's even a little bit lighter than I am, so this was actually horrible. This was the light 280, and I have a little face palette here. Don't mind my blush mixing. So when I put it in, it looks like a good color, right? It doesn't look that bad. Oh, hi, it's me in the mirror. My Kosas concealer is one of my best face product matches that I have, so I'm gonna put it right beside it. And now you can see how orange this is. This is extremely orange. This is the e.l.f. and this is the Kosas. It's not just orangey and peachy, it's a little darker too. That is a big problem to correct. Could be worse, but it's pretty bad. So I can't apply this to my face because my face already has redness. You can see like, it's not like bad, but it's bad enough that you don't want to emphasize it. What to do? I'm assuming you have more makeup in your collection, even if you don't have a lot, and probably good products that will have a good match. And you might have already have bought something that is a little lighter. So the thing is, a lot of people buy lighter concealers for this dark circle area, which is usually to illuminate, so usually is a little bit pinky or it's a little lighter, you were trying to brighten it up. This can be a good ally if you want to fix this shade of something else that you bought that is too dark. You have to look for though is the undertone. So in my case I have something orangey and this is this saturated pink color, so this might work very well. So let's try. There you go. This here is my lighter concealer. In this case I forgot to tell you, it's my Maybelline Fit Me in the color 10. So look, this is my wrong shade. This is my perfect shade. And this is actually the one that is much lighter. So I can mix all of them up and try to come to a good foundation match to me. Hopefully this will work. I wouldn't mix it with a sponge. You can, but you have to be sure that you put all the amount that you're gonna need here, because you're not gonna have a second chance. What I mean by that is that if you didn't make enough of a mixture, next time you try to duplicate this formula, it might not have exact same shade. You might create patches of different colors in your, so try to put a little more than you need, maybe at least at first, until you get used to that mix, so you can actually every day or some days do this mixture to fix the product. I'm going in just with my normal brush, the one that I use every day, and I'm just gonna tap them until I mix them together in my brush. And sometimes circular movements will make them spread better in the brush itself and not have areas in the brush that will be concentrated. Here it is. I don't apply a lot of foundation. This was enough for me. I've already tried it before. So let's see how it looks. So see the result. I did not apply the wrong one before in my face because it would be catastrophic, but I can apply in my hands so you guys can see. Look at the difference. This is my wrong shade in the Elf Camel, and this in the middle that is basically vanishing in my hands is the mix I've made with the 3 different colors. So with the camel and with my good match concealer and my lighter match concealer. So see, it's vanishing. You barely see that in my hand. And this one's almost like a bronzer. That is a very good shade match for me. I'm looking in the mirror. You still can see a little bit of line. And that might happen to you too. Like not every day you might come to like a perfect shade match. Just lower it a little bit in your neck. And then tap tap to blend it. So it causes almost like an ombre feeling. Don't forget to do that here too, because this area can give it away very easily. If you look at my face now, what you can see maybe is that I do have much more coverage than I usually go for. That is a little uncomfortable for me, but because I actually mix concealers that, even though they're good match and lighter match for me, they're concealers that I like wearing and they feel good to me. It feels good to wear them, like they don't feel heavy, they have good texture, etc. So that's also something like, if you have a formula that you might not be enjoying as much, you can always fix the formula with another formula, so you can like have half and half. I do that with primers a lot. For example, the Rare Beauty foundation is a little drying to me, so I do mix it with illuminating primer and moisturizing primers. So when I actually apply it, it feels much better. If you want lighter application, you can always use dual fiber brushes. This one is for blush, but it will give you a much more airy application, which is also a technique too. If you buy a very heavy coverage foundation or concealer, you can use it as a way to tone it down, which is great too. That means you don't need as much makeup. You can vary your technique, so you can take advantage of the makeup you have and try different looks. And talking about that, right now, I was thinking, why not try the latte makeup? Let's take advantage of the fact that I'm drinking a latte right now. What does it have to do with anything? Okay, so I drink lattes every day, full disclosure. But what does it have to do with anything is that it's trendy right now. And I thought that the idea was super cool because it's something I actually try to implement by myself sometimes, like using minimal products or applying the same color products in many areas of my face. The blush is almost like a bronzer, a blush and a bronzer at one. And I also apply it in my eyes, so it's the base of my eyes, for example. And I like that, makes it hold together better, like all the colors in my face. And sometimes I even apply in my lips, depending on the formula, if it's like cream or liquid. It ties it together beautifully. In this part of the video, we're just gonna finish the makeup trying to use the latte makeup techniques, which is basically not using blush colors, but just using browns and lattes as colors. Now I'm gonna hold back my hair with my extra super fancy clips. They're borrowed directly from the children's store. Love it though. Okay, so now we're ready. My favorite formula for blushes, and actually most products, is like cream liquid. Those two are blushes, but they are in bronzer color. So I do recommend them. This is the Quo Beauty Feather Light Cream Blush in the color Pure, which is very browny. I guess it still can be understood as a blush. If you don't have bronzer, because like some people don't actually use bronzer or contour, and I understand that perfect. I rarely use them. If you don't have them, you can just opt for blushes that are a little more brown than usual. This one is a very natural alternative, at least in my type of complexion. It's like light, neutral to a little cool. Everything turns more peachy on me than I would like. I hate that. This type of color, it's right at home. And if you don't have it, you can always use something like this. that is a little bit peachy or even a bit of red and mix it with concealer and foundation to make it a little more skin-like. It's gonna be lighter though, unless you have something that is darker, like a cream or liquid bronzer contour. Another makeup that evokes the latte feeling for me a lot is the Salt New York Cocoa. Here, it's great for that. It's a blush, it's a bronzer, what is it? It's brown. You see, like it's that 90s cool brown, and it's very similar to the other one. So first, I'm gonna apply the Quo Feather Light in Pure, and I'm gonna apply it in the back of my hand. You can apply it in your palette, and I'm gonna use a dual fiber because I don't wanna build it too much too soon. I wanna have control over it, so I just tap. I am trying to use a new technique where I actually start in the outer corner of my eyes, here in this area. So I don't apply too much product on this area because that drags me down a little because I don't have really big cheeks. They are really small, so I have to apply in a really concentrated area. Let me start this with this side so you can see better. And then after you applied most of the product on that area, the rest you can use to start like blending the edges and bringing a little bit in. So you actually apply where people, usually apply blush. See, it looks extremely natural. Like, it doesn't really look like I applied basically almost brown on my face. It actually looks like a blush. I don't know if everyone's faces will look as natural as mine will with that kind of color, but I think it's kind of safe to assume that a lot of people will, because basically every color that we have on our skin has a little bit of one undertone or the other, but a little bit of beige and brown in it, because it's skin color. So even though you think you see oh, I see pink under your eyes or blue, is never that color. It's a beigey blue because it's on skin, so that makes a lot of sense in my mind. And I kind of just discovered this, I think, past year or so. I've been watching a lot of other YouTubers that I really like Kaki Reviews Makeup and Hannah Louise Posto. I guess it was a journey. Everyone was kind of learning that, oh, browns are great as blushes, and we don't really need that much bronzer. And it's really great. You should try it because it really opens a whole new world of possibilities, because then it's much easier to control color application. If you wear a pink in your face, it can get out of hand very fast. But as you can see, I applied a lot and it looks so natural. It's really worth a try. So again, I'm just gonna pick a little bit more here, doing the same thing on the other side. So something else that I think is very important and a lot of people forget to do while they're doing the makeup. Lighting is most of the time very irregular. Sometimes you're getting shadows from one side, more lighting the other. So always go to a window with a mirror and hold your head straight, looking straight in the mirror. In this case, I am, but you guys are seeing me in an angle. That will give you a more real understanding without so many shadows, or at least symmetrical shadows of your application. And then you'll be sure if you're applying too much blush on your side or not, or too little maybe, or sometimes it doesn't even read like you applied it. Trust me, do that. And that's even more important when you're doing eyeliner or something very precise, like precise details on your makeup. It really makes a huge difference. I would say we succeeded. It's very latte makeup. I almost feel like somehow we're going into fall. I'm like, no, not ready. I'm going to build a little bit of the brown with Cocoa from Salt New York. It's Cocoa in English? I don't know. It's really weird. I don't know why you don't say the A. Doesn't matter. I'm doing it. Also taking the excess in my hands. And you can see very similar colors, right? This is Cocoa. And I'm just building in the center. It's just to give more dimension. Whatever is left, I just build it in the edges. Again, pretty good. I think the latte vibe is happening. What you can also do, which I will do right now, is to use bronzer and contour because it's part of the brown setup, right? I will use a little bit of these creams from Salt New York, the bronzer and the contour. And after, or if you don't have the cream versions of the bronzer or the contour, you can go directly for the powder version. Usually I mix both because I have cold skin. It's neutral but a little bit cooler. I mix both the bronzer and the contour. I'm just gonna bring a little more of that brown. So what are your opinions so far in latte makeup? My next usual step would be the powder version of those products. I, for once, don't have blushes in powder formula that are that much brown, but I do have my very, very trustworthy Cool and Light Charisma Contour Palette from Kaleidos. It's like best color match I've ever had. They have this cool thing here. I usually use the chisel. Shade is more for a contour, and those are the colors. Refer 04. I try to pick a lot of product, but I always remove the excess. And some taps. This, as a step for me, it's mostly setting the colors under than actually adding a lot of color, but the color match is pretty good for me particularly, so I always go for that instead of a powder, like a translucent powder. For that, I have the Laura Mercier translucent powder, the hit that everyone loves, and it's actually very good. And basically, I have only one powder really, which is this one. When doing my powder, I always like swirl a lot to make sure that everything is uniform. I don't want to apply too much powder in a specific place in my face. And actually, I haven't been wearing that much powder. I'm starting to. I guess I'm kind of studying how it reacts on my skin. And now it's eyeshadow time. So I'm not really sure how to go about the eyeshadows. I kind of am, but it's something that I kind of already do, which is using bronzer and blush and contour, I guess, as a base for the eyeshadow look. So we're gonna do that, which I already did a little bit of the cream. So I'm going back to my Kaleidos. I'm going with my bronzer, which is my warmer color, to set a base, let's say. So I'm going with the chisel. So basically what I'm doing here is really contouring my eyes in the end, which of course looks great, at least I think so. And the contour shade, which is the middle one here, I think it's more like a crease, like a very defined crease kind of shade. So I'm going with a small precision brush for this. Oh, and if I wasn't clear, it kind of has to be your cooler color because you're receding. You want to bring it back, so it has to be cooler so it creates shadows. And also, I suppose you can approach this makeup in a very different way. In the latte, you can go for the fall autumny warm browns thing, but they don't look good on me. So that's how I'm doing. The point here is that you can use very minimal amount of product in whatever you already have to make the same look or your own approach of the same look. I don't know if this is part of the latte, but I want my inner corner white, milk white actually. Wow, that was a bad joke, but this color is actually called milk. It's the Jumbo Eye Pencil from NYX, and it is called milk. And if you don't look the very, graphic white, you can just blend it, even tapping with your fingers. I like the bright white because I kind of enjoy like a lot this light color in the inner corner of my eyes, contrasting with like a darker like sleepy eyes in the outer edges, and I like that. So that's what I'm going for when I do this type of makeup, and almost every day. But I'm just going in the milk coffee latte vibe, I guess. I thought it would be perfect for this look to use the Tati Beauty palette, volume 1. only one. Why? Because even though it's discontinued, my objective here is not to make you buy things, is to make you use the things you have. It doesn't matter if they're discontinued or if no one else can find them. Basically, it's a basic palette, a great quality basic palette, but still a basic palette that you probably have the colors of. We're going to dip into those browns. I'm going first with the matte Suit, which is a very medium, kind of warm brown actually, but it's as warm as I can go for. So for me, I was missing a little bit of the warmth, like of the latte vibe. So I think that this was enough to bring it back. And what I'm gonna try to do now is to use Ritual, the matte brown one, which is not super dark. See, this one's a black. It's not that dark, but it's dark enough, much more darker than the other things I have in my eyes and my face right now. So I'm just going to very slowly build a little bit the outer corner, okay? With a more precise brush. Not super small, but still more precise. So see what happens if I bring this down too much. I can always go in with concealer and fix it after, but it's just like, makes it very droopy. Gonna correct a little bit. It's really minimal product, almost nothing that you have to use to correct this kind of thing. And go slowly. I usually like to use my fingers. And if you feel like you erased your blush, use whatever you have left and just tap it. There you go. Kind of natural, but leaning into the browns. I particularly love the browns like the 90s because they're usually cooler. Well, some of them are rusty, but I guess there was a little bit of everything in the 90s. But I particularly like the taupe brown kind of vibe. And something else, I need glitter in my life. So obviously, I will be using this glitter of this palette, the Tati Beauty, to finish my look. Okay, sorry if the frame is a little different. I had to fix some things in my settings here. Sorry. Usually I go for those two like beige glitters, so that's what I'm going to do today. I love those glitters from this palette. They are really good. They're already kind of, I might be wrong on saying this, but dimeticone, so they stick by themselves. You don't need to apply anything. It's just great. And now from Sooth, which is a little darker. And now I'm using the Ritual one, which is the darker brown. I'm really going in for the latte vibe, so lots of browns. So now we have a party look with the latte. So I can't help myself. I need to use glitter if I can. So what I did, I created a kind of an ombre with the glitter. So from like beige to latte color and a little more browner, like a little less milk. And then it's an ombre. So I'm gonna finish the eyes now and I will leave you for a sec. I don't want to sound obvious, but the glitter part is nothing to do with the latte makeup. It's me turning the latte makeup into something that is me, which you should always do with any inspiration. I mean, of course, you can try the inspiration just by itself to see if you like it, but I know I will be missing something. I love the very exuberant eyes, so there you go. Now I'm testing this new Essence Make Me Brown eyebrow gel. I think it's the second time I'm gonna use it. I bought it because I've seen someone giving it good reviews. I don't remember who, I'm sorry, but it was basically saying that it has fibers like the Benefit one, which I loved. So that's also super cheap. Seems fine. So now we're going to the last steps of the makeup, which is the lips. I just got this Color Stay Sweat ink from Revlon. The color is I Want It All. And I bought this, hoping that this will be my lips but better kind of shade, and because I love the formula. This is a long stay lip that is actually matte. It doesn't overly dry your lips, and it looks great, really great. And if you actually do the test, it's amazing. It really is transfer proof. Let's try it, because I actually don't know if this color is gonna be all that I hope. Before I started the makeup, I also moisturized my lips, just so you know. I really like it. It's darker than I was hoping for. I was hoping for something a little closer to the color of my lips. And it's also not as latte as I thought it would be. It's a little more rosy, but it's still great. It doesn't get clunky, it doesn't dry up, and it's insane. I love the color though. I love how this came together. I wouldn't say it's a very strong latte makeup, but you know, it's inspired. I took the trend and I transformed it into me, into what I like. And I urge you to do the same, because that's what makes makeup fun. You can try new techniques, but keeping real to yourself, to your day, to how you like using makeup, that's what will make it not feel like a chore, but actually feel like fun and joyful, right? This is it. I hope you had inspiration to take advantage of makeup in weird colors and with textures that you have maybe lying around. So try to put them in your current makeup collection and use them in day-by-day situations. And maybe try a little more brown in your makeup. Who knows? You might actually find a new signature look. Who knows? I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting. And most importantly, I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.